what's a bad action, what's a wrong decision, what's an evil decision.
Yeah, I think evil is kind of easy because we can come up with some of the most extreme examples of those, and I think there's also a lot of overlap between those for sure. So let's see here. So maybe, wow, you're almost stumping me on this one. So I guess it depends on whether you want to look at it on an individual basis or if you want to look at it like in a larger context. And then we're talking about actions by humans or by people in this case.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
and I think maybe let's simplify it to the level of the individual, or at least a small group of people.
Okay. Let's see. So, because I think that it depends if you want to reach outside that world of just humans, like within nature, there's, I think, a different connotation. We talked about this in like one of the earlier chapters about what's considered good, bad. And usually there's not a notion of evil unless you say that like, there's some sort of evil entity controlling nature and causing evil to occur, right?
Yeah, well, that's another Descartes idea.
Yeah, exactly. But so going back to on the individual, like smaller scale side of things, so we're talking about evil versus bad versus wrong. Were those the three? Mm-hmm. So I think wrong to me it's kind of like, it kind of has a legal connotation to it. So I think it's wrong is kind of when you're breaking the rules of the system that everyone's agreed to live by.
The set of rules that everyone plays their games by, so to speak.
Essentially, yeah. So I think that's what I would attribute wrong to be. So that would be something like you're cheating, like stealing from someone might be wrong, yeah. But it might not necessarily be evil. Let's just say you did that, but you like stole in order so you could like survive. You were in some desperate situation or something like that. It might still be wrong, but it might not be evil.
Right.
So that's one scenario I can think of. I think evil is pretty easy because, like I said, we can come up with extreme examples of like murder, which we generally don't describe that as just being bad. We usually think of that as being sort of more extreme, right? Mm-hmm. As for bad, I think I would say bad would be, for me, a category of things where it's like harmful purely to yourself, to your own personal progress. So like maybe if you, if you have like, maybe wasting your potential is something that might be considered bad as an example. So if you have like a very highly developed intellect, but you don't use it, then that might be something that's bad, but it's not necessarily wrong or evil.
Right. Well, that brings me, there's an idea of good and evil in the Eastern tradition, which is about having knowledge versus lack of knowledge.
Okay.
So it's bad. What you outlined is almost like someone has potential, but they don't know how to manifest it. They don't have the knowledge of how to manifest.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a clean separation like I'm trying to make it. I'm just trying to, as best I can, orient myself towards what sort of vaguely falls into those categories.
Mm-hmm.